I heard a saying recently, and that is, you resemble what you respect. We all have beliefs, right? We all have our own perceptions of the world. And I always say, what you believe about hair loss is true in your own mind. And I definitely believe that's true. So just to build on top of that, what you respect is what you resemble. We could even use the word fear. You can have a reverent fear of certain things, a respectable, logical fear about certain things in life that guide your life, morality or whatever it is. And therefore, we all have some sense of identity based on what we believe is true in life. Okay? So we end up looking like that version of truth. And so my whole concept about whatever you believe about hair loss is true in your own mind, it's the same thing as you resemble what you respect. And it's so funny to me because you can clearly tell what I respect, what beliefs I respect about confidence outweighing hair loss, and that it's a choice, just like forgiveness is a choice, and not allowing other people to emotionally affect you is a choice. I think it's a matter of realizing I'm going to make some difficult choices that are unnatural for me, and I'm going to make my life better through that than worrying, fear, and anxiety. But for certain people, what they respect ultimately is doom. The sky is falling, fear, despair, anger, bitterness, desperation, obsession. That is the thing that they ultimately respect, for lack of a better word. They become that. Other people on my channel are not in that. They may be balding and they may be young, but they say, you know what? I don't want to live that way. I want to choose a better way. I want my brain to not think in such a toxic way. And they don't, because they respect a different belief system. So yes, I think it's definitely true that you end up resembling, you look like the thing that you respect. And I think in the same way, this is my whole mantra. This is what I talk about, and I always have, right? And you can see that with my subscribers and viewers. The people that are on board with this, they like these psychology videos. And the people who are not on board with this because they resemble something, a different thing that they respect that's the opposite of me, what do? They throw poo at me. Yeah. And what they hope to see is, but I don't do that because ultimately I don't live in that world of doom and gloom and people can offend me. In closing, have you guys ever thought about this? I should have really made this its own video. Think if you were Nick Shell. And I read every comment. There's never a half a day period. There's never a 12-hour period where I don't have at least one person cursing me out, telling me I'm an idiot, telling me I'm a liar, saying something very negative toward me. And I've got 2 channels. My other one has 1,100 subscribers now, and it happens just as frequently on there. Imagine if you were Nick Shell, okay? Every couple of hours, I'm cursed at, told I'm an idiot, told I'm ignorant, told that I shouldn't have a channel. And this is coming from 2 different channels about 2 completely different things. Could you handle that if you were me? Could you? Could you handle someone constantly berating you all day long and telling you that you're pointless, worthless, and all that? And well, the natural takeaway is that's a reflection of how people feel about themselves. And that's so sad that they feel that way. So people, well, Nick, man, that would take thick skin to be you. Honestly, now that I think about it, because I want to fight back and I want to tell them, no, you're the idiot. No, you're the idiot. But I look at it as people are not content and happy with themselves, and that's why they do that on 2 different channels. My other channel, it has nothing to do with hair loss. I get, quote, insulted just as frequently, but if I don't perceive it as an insult, if I perceive that they're unhappy themselves, then I just don't give people power over my emotions like that. And that takes a very strong person. And I've said this so many times before. There are certain psychological bullet points that predict whether or not hair loss is going to bother you. If you can easily forgive people, check. Hair loss probably won't bother you. If you had a positive, good relationship with your father, check. You're probably not going to be that bothered by hair loss. It's the cliche about psychology. Tell me about your relationship with your father, right? It all comes down to that, having that base of psychology. There's so many of these things. But ultimately, and two, I've been saying to people, like, why don't you start your own channel about hair loss? And the reason I love to say this, because I'm thinking, because if they ever tried, then they'd realize that they'd be more affected by all the negativity that you receive in the comment section than probably their own hair loss. And then that would actually help them maybe even realize how little credit they're giving themselves to overcome something psychologically like that. But can you imagine if you're me and you've been doing these channels for a couple of years now, that it's actually increased my communication skills, my confidence level? It has. It's really broadened my perspective. And so ultimately, reacting towards people's negativity and really just hate vibes has really helped me. So again, you resemble what you respect. And so I can see that in my own viewers, who's on board with my way of thinking, overcoming this thing psychologically, or just going on the roller coaster just straight to just despair. You resemble what you respect.